weekend for its campuses.
A push for more gun control as this community continues to mourn one of the worst school shootings in U.S. history. I'm Marley Hall in Newtown, Connecticut. That story is coming up.
And will we avoid the fiscal cliff by the end of this year? Today's Thursday, December 20th, 2012.
It's the station with the most news in South Texas. From KRIS Studios, this is KRIS News at Sunrise in HD.
Good Thursday morning to you. Thanks so much for waking up with us this windy morning. I'm Janine Reyes.
I'm Dave Freilich. We're here with meteorologist Juan Acuna in for Matt, and it is finally beginning to feel a lot more like Christmas.
Yeah, that's right. We have the front that came in earlier this morning. Some warm weather as well, so we'll have another weather update at about 6:06.
A lot of possibilities.
There you go.
All right, thanks, Juan. Well, new this morning, several shops have been damaged after a fire overnight. The shopping center fire started about 2:30 this morning in the 4400 block of Leopard. The owners of the Chances Are bar noticed the smoke and quickly called 911. Most of those shops have some smoke damage. Firefighters also had to break down some doors and windows to let the smoke out. Firefighters believe it started at the back room of the bar. That's got the most damage. It took about 45 minutes to contain. Fortunately, no one was hurt in the fire. 2 dogs did have to be rescued. They're also going to be okay. Now, a man was found dead inside an apartment that caught fire yesterday morning, and it's possible he was killed before that fire even started. Police say the fire on 7th Street was called in around 7 yesterday morning. Once the fire was put out and the body was found, Rick Ortiz with the medical examiner's office was called in. Ortiz told us it's possible the fire was set to cover up the death. Police won't confirm it, but they are calling the death suspicious. And several neighbors told us they heard what sounded like gunshots coming from the apartment before that fire.
I got worried because my teenager was out here and he was watching, and you know, when I heard the gunshots, I told him, you know what, you might have to come inside, you know, come get in, because something might explode or something might happen.
The medical examiner's office has not released the man's name yet. We're told he was in his mid to late 20s.
The superintendent of the no timeline is set on when all these changes will be completed. Work has already begun on some of them. Well, the push for new gun control legislation has intensified since a shooter killed his mother, 26 people at an elementary school, and then himself.
For some, though, in Newtown, Connecticut, gun control legislation isn't just a law, it's now personal. Marley Hall has that story.
My name is Richard Blumenthal.
Connecticut Senator Richard Blumenthal
Responsible for the tax increase.
It's time now to take a look at yesterday's stories in Rewind with Lee Sosley.
Bells. That's how that works.
Welcome back. 6:13 now on your Thursday morning. Shattering sunroofs prompts Hyundai to issue a recall.
That tops our look at consumer news. Hyundai is recalling 13,500 Veloster coupes because their panoramic sunroofs can shatter and rain glass onto the driver and passengers. The recall involves a 2012 model year. At least 5 people have suffered from minor injuries from the sunroof shattering. Hyundai says the assembly of the sunroof may have been weakened during installation. Consumers have complained of the same problem in vehicles made by Kia, Hyundai's sister company.
A highway safety group has upped the stakes in crash tests for next year's models, and it turns out some of the more affordable family cars did better than the most expensive ones. NBC's Chris Clackham brings us more.
60s for our inland area, so some cool and some warm weather. I think everyone should be a little bit happy with the 7-day forecast.
You get it all in this forecast.
That's right. We have 30s all the way up to 80s.
Yeah, I'm happy the record heat is at least gone for now.
That's true.
All right,
yes.
Thanks, Juan. According to the Mayan calendar, the end of the world is just around the corner. Might set your clocks to that, I guess. Of course, many say they're not worried. Some people known as preppers still aren't taking any chances. Steve Litz has more.
If the world ends, anything.
Being prepared, I don't think is unreasonable at all.
Ever had that canned bread
Still looking
before?
at the canned bread. No,
it does not look tasty.
Take my chances with the Mayans, I think.
Right. Let's head over to the internet now, see what's trending online this morning.
On Yahoo, Washington Redskins quarterback Robert Griffin III is trending. RG3 was fined a cool $10,000 by the NFL for wearing Adidas apparel during his post-game news conference Sunday. Griffin has a sponsorship deal with Adidas, but the NFL has a deal with Nike.
On Google, Santa Tracker is trending. Yesterday, Google launched its own Santa Tracker app for 2012 to rival the one NORAD releases each year. The app will be available for Android as well as online with a direct feed from St. Nick himself. The Santa Tracker will be available on Google Maps and Google Earth beginning at 6 a.m. Central Time. That's our local time here on Christmas Eve.
And on YouTube, this is Chert the poodle. Chert thinks he's a human. He only walks and jumps on his hind legs. He's become a YouTube sensation.
I love that. One of my dogs walks a lot on her hind legs. Not exclusively, but she does a lot of that. And it's the cutest thing. I don't know how that dog's staying up so long.
And yeah, moving pretty fast. It's impressive.
I like it.
And I don't want to brag, but I will also say that I walk and jump exclusively on my hind legs,
well,
too.
good for you. We'll give you a treat after the show.
No one's done anything. Wow, right.
Some canned bread, maybe.
Maybe canned bread.
All right, the death toll on Corpus Christi roads may be going down, but that's not enough for city engineers.
That's right. Coming up, we'll tell you what they're doing to make the streets even safer. 6:21 right now on your Thursday morning.
Prices of the year. No better time to buy than now.
No better time to buy.
Welcome back, everybody. 6:24 now on your Thursday morning. The number of traffic accidents here in Corpus Christi is up this year. 27 people have died in traffic accidents as well so far in 2012. Still, that number is down from last year.
Here's a look at the numbers for you. The city recorded 8,460 crashes in 2011. This year, that number is 8,000.
Next week, and our next front comes on Christmas Day, knocks us into the 60s by Wednesday afternoon, even to the 40s on Christmas night. So it's going to be pretty nice on your Christmas. A little bit of warm and a little bit of cool weather.
That'd be a Christmas gift for some people, a lump of coal for others, I guess.
And here's what you could do with the cooler weather today. Since it's December 20th, it's Go Caroling Day. So you can start us off.
Oh, you don't want
to. Hit it. 1, 2.
Yeah. On this day in 1803, the Louisiana Purchase was completed as ownership of the territory was formally transferred from France to the United States.
Drummer Peter Criss of Kiss is 67 today. You can sing a Peter Criss song.
How'd that get in there?
I wonder. Actor Jonah, what's his birthday? Actor Jonah Hill is 29 today, and here's a look at some local birthdays.
January 2nd.
Welcome back. It's 6:33 now on your Thursday morning, December 20th. New this morning, several shops are damaged after an early morning fire.
Shopping center fire started right after 2:30 this morning on the 4400 block of Leopard. The owners of the Chances Are bar noticed the smoke and called 911. Most of the shops do have some smoke damage. Firefighters also had to break some doors and windows, as you see right there, to get to it. Firefighters believe the fire started in the back room of the bar. That's got the most damage. It took about 45 minutes to contain everything. No one was injured in the fire. 2 dogs did have to be rescued. Ingleside police are trying to figure out who's responsible for some threatening messages left in a bathroom at the high school. Meanwhile, an officer has been assigned to the campus for the rest of the week. This is one of the notes warning there'll be a shooting at the school on Friday at 10 in the morning. Now, these notes might be a prank, but of course, after last week's tragedy in Connecticut, school officials aren't taking any chances. Ingleside police will keep an eye on the other schools as well. President Obama sales in U.S. history. In Washington today, no fiscal cliff negotiations are scheduled. Instead, Republicans have scheduled a vote would stop a tax increase from anyone making under $1 million. That's a move the president has said will lead to an automatic veto. Tracy Potts has all the latest from Washington.
Today's vote. Wisconsin to the panhandle of Oklahoma and is now moving toward Chicago. Heavier snow is possible there tonight, and O'Hare International Airport does expect delays. The Army will seek the death penalty as they prosecute the Marine accused of killing more than 15 Afghans back in March. Sergeant Robert Bales was told yesterday about the possible death penalty he faces. His attorney said Bales is disappointed in the Army's decision, but understands because of the gravity of the situation. That attorney also said the decision is irresponsible and that his client had no reason to be in that country in the first place. Let's take a look now at what made news in other
or your local Nissan dealer. Hurry! Up to $2,000 holiday bonus cash ends January 2nd.
Welcome back. It's 6:44 now on your Thursday morning. Americans' heart health differs greatly from state to state. Yeah, researchers from the Centers for Disease Control used phone surveys to assess, I should say, the cardiovascular health of people in all 50 states and the District of Columbia. Only about 3% of Americans had ideal heart health, while 10% were considered to have poor cardiovascular health. The percentage of the population with ideal heart health was highest in Washington, D.C., Vermont, and Virginia.
The lowest was in Oklahoma, West Virginia, and Mississippi.
The Connecticut elementary school.
After a morning low of 36 on Friday morning, so bundle up for tonight.
All right, thanks, Juan. Time to take a look now at what's coming up later today nationally. The House and Senate will hold hearings on the Benghazi attacks that killed a U.S. ambassador and 3 other Americans. An independent report shows those deadly attacks were the result of security and management failures. The panel's report made 29 recommendations to improve embassy security, and Secretary of State Hillary Clinton says she accepts all of those recommendations. Secretary Clinton was supposed to testify, but she's recovering at home after suffering a concussion. Her 2 Deputy Secretaries of State, William Burns and Thomas Nides, will testify in her place. The body of Senator Daniel Inouye will lie in state at the Capitol Rotunda today. The senator from Hawaii died Monday from respiratory complications at the age of 88. Inouye was the 2nd longest serving senator in U.S. history and served as President Pro Tem of the Senate. His funeral will be held Sunday in Hawaii.
UPS workers are gearing up for their at the Planet Hollywood Casino on the Las Vegas Strip. Miss Philippines came in 2nd. An American had not won Miss Universe since Brooke Lee won the title back in 1997. It's been a while.
Would you want to wake up with the title Queen of the Universe?
Well,
with that kind of responsibility? Not a national security issues there.
Glad it's an American, though.
There you go. Well, how about this video? This is from Russia. I don't know why they had this dashboard cam mounted on the car, but a lady driving around in Russia saw this 18-wheeler full of cows.
Goodness. Oh,
cattle turning over. It's like a Chick-fil-A ad gone horribly wrong. But remarkably, these cows, watch it again in slow motion. The cows get up.
Now that you know what to expect.
And are walking off.
Well, you probably would as well, Dave.
Well, no, I don't know that I would.
Well, look at them.
But they're all okay. They stand up.
Goodness.
The 18-wheeler clearly taking that turn too quickly.
Who knows what aches and pains they're feeling.
Turns out the drivers were a clown, a king, and a red-haired girl driving the vehicle.
That's kind of odd to see cows just in a container like that. I mean, open.
Might be one of the reasons why you don't do that very often. It's amazing. Again, it appears that they were.
It's hard to watch.
I hope they didn't get road rash.
That was the least of their problems.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Wow. That is.
And that lady, it was a woman driving. She probably felt like, now this is why.
Amazing she didn't hit any of them.
This is why she presses play on that video camera every time she goes to the
ready for that to
supermarket to get a gallon of milk. That was amazing.
Yeah,
wow.
it was.
I hate to be those cows. We have a north.